just incredible. Just like, it's just a really hot issue for me right now, and it just gets me really upset. It just really hurts my heart, you know. Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucien. I'm a music producer and a songwriter, and today I'm going to be reacting to, oh god, I don't know how to say this every single time I have to look it up. Oil of Every Pearl's Uninsides by Sophie. Let's go. I promised I would do it. And actually it's ended up being the week after my last Hyperpop reaction. Yeah, so Sophie, incredible producer. I've discovered her, discovered a couple of songs of hers through my general Hyperpop reactions. So I did one in January and I did one last week where I did like Hyperpop Discovery, where I was kind of trying to get an idea of hyperpop as a genre, because it was a genre that I'd always heard of and never really understood. And through that, I've discovered Sophie and realised that like Sophie's music is just incredible, and she had such influence on so many other people within this genre. And actually, I mean, she even produced a lot of the songs for people like Charlie XCX and whatever. So her stamp is all over this genre. And one of the biggest recommendations from those videos were for me to do the full album of hers, The Oil of Every Pearl's Uninsides. Considering we're kind of doing having a bit of a hyperpop moment this month, I figured let's just go for it. And hopefully anyone who hasn't discovered Sophie will also be able to kind of discover her with me through this video. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Got Snorlax here. It's going to help me out with this reaction. Anyway, if I'm a bit hyper today, because it's hyperpop, I've got a crazy party later to go to and I'm quite excited about it. I'm in a bit of a party mood. Anyway, if you are new to this channel, hi, welcome. Make sure to subscribe, tick. Make sure to like, tick. Keep going, tick down your list. And also make sure to check out my Patreon. Some of you might be watching this video on Wednesday. Usually I release videos on a Friday on YouTube, but for Patreon on the Weeping Wendy tier, I put my videos out 2 days early, and they also get access to my videos without any editing as well. Because of the YouTube algorithm, like a lot of videos get flagged. That's why my YouTube reactions kind of get quite choppy, and a lot of people have expressed that they quite like to hear the whole thing. So that is something that you can do on Patreon with a small donation, because obviously then I don't get ad revenue, and this is my part of my livelihood now, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so if you want to support me on Patreon, then the link is in the description. Please and thank you. Cool. Okay, with that plugging out of the way, let's get on to this album. I'm very excited to hear it because honestly, Immaterial and Bip were like two really, really cool songs that had such interesting ideas and textures and whatever. Face Shopping was another one that got recommended a lot, but I wanted to save it for this album reaction. That is one that you're gonna be able to look forward to. Oh my god, I feel like the first song is made for me. My Patreon groups are literally called the Crying Club and the Weeping Wendy's, for anyone who's not seen me cry in a reaction yet. And the first song is It's Okay to Cry. So let's go. Ooh. Oh, I like this. Very dreamlike. Oh, okay. I accept you, yeah. I love this. I love how the vocal delivery is beautiful. Oh my god, I love the delivery of this. Whoa! Okay. Nice. Ugh. Oh god. This is giving me shivers. Oh my god. Sophie is speaking to me. I love that. This is so wonderful. I love the intimacy in it. It's so quiet. Basically, it's literally a whisper. Ugh, like Sophie's like taking your hand and being like, it's okay, like speaking to you quietly so no one else can hear, you know. It's lovely. Yeah. Ugh. It's just really beautiful. This world inside you could hold a dark place. This is wonderful. Is that a teardrop in your eye? Yeah, Yes. It's so huge, but also so intimate and face to face at the same time. Oh. I mean, no surprise, this has ended up crying. Wow, just such a huge, moving piece of music. But I think what really is so moving about it is that the way in which it's performed is so intimate and so quiet that it makes you lean in, it makes you listen. You're like, what are you saying to me? Like, please speak to me, please whisper to me. Like, so it brings you in, and then it, like, once it's got you, you follow this like hugely dynamic journey. Like, I can see the audio waveform on my computer, and it's like really like not very highly compressed actually, which is wonderful to see in a pop song. But like with that message, with that such an intimate, beautiful message, like that is saying like, I can see there's like something within you that is dark. Is it okay if we shine a light on that? Is it okay if we open up? Is it okay if we get vulnerable? Just remember that like you can get vulnerable in front of me because it's okay to cry in front of me. It just feels so much like she is saying that to the listener so directly, and I think that is all about, you know, all in the way that it's recorded and the way that it's performed. And yeah, once it's got you, to then take it to such a huge place, it has so much more impact because of how engrossed you are. It's like you're there listening for it to be quiet. It's quiet and you're into it, and then it's like whoo, and it just blows it open. She really brings in the kind of hyperpop-esque nature right at the end, but with such a deft hand. You know, I think some of the hyperpop stuff I've heard before really enjoys like slamming you around the face with it, like 100%. But with this, it uses the dynamic to its ultimate potential. Absolutely incredible. And as like a producer myself, it's not just in the sounds that she uses. The production takes you on a story. You know, she uses the way in which it's recorded, the sounds that she uses, and the dynamic processing to bring you on this emotional journey and make you cry. It's so incredibly inspiring to hear somebody doing that at this level. Just phenomenal. Okay, so that was the first song. Okay, song number 2. This one might not be quite as emotional. It's called Ponyboy. Penny. Boy. Ugh. Okay. Unique, dirty, edgy. It's kind of talking down to someone, isn't it? It's almost a bit kinky. It's kind of like that kind of language that kind of like a dom might speak to a sub, you know? Yeah. Ooh. Weird. It's just so unique. So brave. It sounds like a guinea pig. God, you couldn't have 2 more different songs, could you? All the movement of the textural kind of sub stuff is really cool. Like, it's really like, it's so atonal as well. Oh, still going. Ooh, weird.
My feet.
Cool. Yeah, like, I mean, that kind of song is not necessarily my standard kind of listening, as per usual. But in terms of like appreciating the production, Jesus Christ, I've never heard anything like it. And it's an incredibly brave amount of sounds. There's nothing in there that sounds melodic or beautiful. Like, it does come with a few more musical aspects and kind of a warbling kind of vocal track halfway through. But in the context of it, they are very, very, very limited moments. And the whole song is aggressive, completely full of distortion. It's very dirty. It's all this kind of feedback. Slightly disturbing. But like, I can appreciate it so much. Let's have a little look at the lyrics just so I can kind of see if my ideas were true in terms of the meaning.
Boy.
Penny. Yeah. There seems to be like maybe like a double meaning in there, because to me it sounds a bit kinky, a bit sexual. I know that like the kind of pony kink is kind of it's kind of similar to the puppy one. Yeah, so like that was my kind of initial thought, was that like it's like Sophie talking to this person. Yeah, she's like got this boy that she's like, you know, talking down to, spitting on their face, like doing all the kind of kinky stuff. But I don't know whether there's a layer of subtext criticizing the way in which people treat other people like animals. Like inside the bedroom it's one thing, but outside the bedroom it's something more personal and something more maybe societal criticism. The he is just a pony boy, she is just a pony boy, they is just a pony is like where it kind of makes me think that maybe there's another layer of meaning there. Let me know what you think, because I know that Sophie is known for clever lyrics, multiple layers, and societal criticism. Let's go on to song number 3. This is one of the most requested Sophie songs, so I'm really excited to hear it. This is Face Shopping.
My face is the front of shop.
Ooh, interesting. I'm thinking social media. That's kind of my idea going in. Oh, shit. Now this is real heavy hyperpop shit. Okay, I can understand why people would react to this. It's like intense. Oh God. Ugh.
My face is the front of shop.
Okay, I'm thinking it's like social media and how your face is like your brand. You know.
My shop is the face I front.
My shop is the face I front. Oh, that's clever. Oh my God, this is really stressful. Sounds like someone's being whacked round the face.
My face is the real shop front.
It's hurting my head a bit. Oh, no, that is the same song. Okay, sure. Let's just throw in another song. Why not? Shove it in. Beautiful. Maybe this is like the real side, the real emotion underneath all the face shopping. I love all this. Whoa, beautiful. It's very mermaidy. Wow. Oh my God. Maybe that's the fake bit, the front. Incredible. Wow. Oh my God. I swear you guys just want to give me a heart attack and a migraine. Okay, I mean, I'm prone to migraines, and that song is not helping, if I'm honest. There's a lot to unpack there. I think the aggression in the song is extremely telling, I think, of Sophie's opinion, I think, of social media. Like, for me, it's like halfway between Facebook and Photoshop, you know? Like, when you're face shopping, it's like you're changing your face for the world to see. That's the idea I'm getting. I love the like counter lyrics that really were clever. Let's have a look. My face is the front of shop. You know, my face is my brand. This is what I'm selling to you. My face is the real shop front. Yeah, it's about what she's selling. But is it real? Is it true? Is it fake? My shop is the face I front. The shop, my social media, like what I'm putting out to the world, is the face that I want to show to the world. It's my front. It's the way I'm going to hide my emotions. I'm real when I shop my face. So maybe it's talking about the intention of photoshopping your face and kind of that being your artistic exploration. I don't know. It's like very open to interpretation, isn't it? But so clever how all those lyrics revolve around the same 3 words. Artificial bloom, it's like, you know, bloom in photography, making things kind of artificially like more beautiful. Hydroponic skin, I guess that's a way of like making your skin look like it's perfect even when it's not. Chemical release, dopamine, you know, the feeling that you get when you get likes. Synthesize the real, making it look as if it's real, making everybody think as if it's real, but it's actually synthetic. It's actually just editing. Facetune, Photoshop. Positive results. Everybody likes it, you get loads of followers, you get that dopamine hit, documents of life, and it is tracking your whole life. Without really fully explaining it, she is telling us the kind of fallacy that is social media and how it's this weird dichotomy between real and fake. Everyone feels as if it's completely real and completely intimate and they're getting into somebody's life, but on the other side of it, they're fixing all their blemishes, they're making the lighting look perfect, but it's unknown to the watcher. So there's this weird dichotomy and this weird thing of like dopamine hit, but also depression. She's just incredible. Like, honestly. Scalpel, lipstick, gel, action camera light, violence in your heart, memories of love. Putting scalpel along with lipstick and gel, it's like, and putting scalpel in the same line makes it appear as if getting plastic surgery with the scalpel is as light a fixture as lipstick and hair gel, you know? And that's what it's becoming, you know, where Instagram and face tuning and photoshopping is bleeding out into people literally injecting stuff into their face because of what they've seen on Instagram, because of this culture that is developing. Amazing. So, you must be the one I've seen in my dreams. Come on, touch me, set my spirit free. That's like the bit where it starts singing in the middle. It kind of feels like a break from reality. And it's almost like Sophie's maybe fallen in love with someone through the internet. It in itself sounds very romantic and very beautiful, but you know, in context of the song and the way in which that bit breaks through, that it's not, it's fake. So incredible. And that last bit, like, give me what I want. I said everything I want, so give me what I want. It's like social media, it's addictive. I need the dopamine. Give me the hit. It's insatiable, you know? And that's why it's so aggressive, I think, is that it's a warning against the pitfalls of social media. It's fucking incredible. I don't think I've ever heard a song that's really summed up the complexities of social media quite so beautifully, eloquently, with so little words, in a way that's so specific and so well written. It's like so intentional. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, let's go on to the next song. This is song number 4. This is It Cold in the Water? Sounds underwater right now with the filter. I'm freezing, I'm burning. This is anxious. Ooh. I love how slowly this has grown. Wow. There's anticipation to it too, though, isn't there? It's like she wants to jump into the water, but she's kind of scared. Maybe of how cold, maybe of how lonely. Wow. Oh, I love that. I love how it just kind of goes growing, back, growing. It's like such a unique way in which to build a song. It's super engaging. I wonder what she's referring to, what she's scared of. Wow, it's incredibly dramatic and engaging, this song. Keeps your attention, doesn't it? It's like such a slow build, but there's so much intrigue to it that it just keeps you on the edge the entire time. Never really lets you have that satisfaction. But in that, there's something in that that's really engaging, you know? It just grabs you and doesn't let you go. It's really, really amazing. Like, I wonder what she's referring to in terms of the water. Let's have a look at the lyrics. Earth shaking, I feel alone. Is it cold in the water? I'm falling, depths endless, worlds turn to smoke. 100 years flicker, I kiss the snow. Is it cold in the water? Yeah, I mean, it could mean anything. I think, like, in general, it can represent taking on anything that you're scared of, that kind of anticipation. Sonically, what it represents as well is anticipation. The entire feeling of it is like you're waiting for it to drop, but it's just slowly growing. But yeah, in terms of the lyric, it's like outside of the water, she's freezing, she's burning, she doesn't know where she's at, she's confused, she's left home, she's on her own, and she's thinking, do I jump in? Do I go all the way into whatever this thing is? And she's asking, you know, is it cold in there? Do I just go for it? Do I just let go? She could be referring to her transition. I mean, I wouldn't know to speak on that. You know, I don't have experience of that. It could be in terms of moving out of home for the first time. It could be, there's many things it could refer to. Yeah, if Sophie said anything about these songs and what they mean to her, I would love to know. So intrigued to get an insight into this genius person. Yeah, make sure to leave a comment. Let's go on to the next one. This is song number 5. This is Infatuation. I love the sound of this already. I love the filters and I love the vocal stuff. Ooh. What is that? What a weird sound, huh? It's like a little cute little voice. It's almost like the voice inside your head. Your inner child, maybe. Infatuation. song is so delicate. Until that happens. I love that she's like sidechained those like it's really giving like a sense of movement, a subtle sense of movement. Who are you out there? I love that this song is like representing being so interested in somebody that you just want to dive into them, understand why they tick, you know? I'm just really lost in this one. It's just such a world, isn't it? What's that sound? Sounds like a cauldron bubbling, but it's got sub on it, which is super cool. Cool. Ooh. What an interesting way to end it. Oh, it's because it's gonna go straight into the next song. Wow. Yeah, that was just such a beautiful soundscape to lose yourself in. Such an interesting soundscape. What I particularly loved was that kind of bubbling sound, because like a bubbling sound like that doesn't have sub frequencies normally. So obviously Sophie's added like a sub frequency to the bubbling, and what it creates is this kind of weird kind of heart thump in a way, but it's kind of magical in the way that it works. And also like using these sub frequencies and moving them from left to right is an incredible way of like creating like unease, because I think people are very used to the sub frequencies being right dead in center, like with a kick drum or a bass, like they're very much in the middle. It requires a lot of really, really difficult mixing to get it to work well and make it not sound muddy. So that's the expertise and the technical side of it that's really impressive. But in terms of like an emotional movement, it really is quite kind of guttural and like slightly uneasy and slightly kind of dangerous. Yeah, I don't know, there's something about it. I get so nerdy sometimes, so apology if I go off on a crazy track of nerdiness, but I am a massive nerd for music creation. That is my vibe. That's what I love. And this song is really making my brain go woo. So yes, lyrically, I really like the idea that like being so infatuated with somebody that you want to know. You want to know what's going on inside their head. Maybe the song itself, in terms of its sonic landscape, is Sophie imagining what's going on inside that person's head and kind of trying to represent it in music and sound. Yeah, I mean, certainly up for interpretation. Let me know. Again, obviously, on every single song, this goes without saying, leave a comment and let me know what your interpretation is. Because this is the kind of album that could have a billion interpretations, and I want to hear all of yours. Let's go on to the next one. So this is a song that we just heard the beginning of. This is Not Okay, song number 6. Very menacing. Ooh, setting on fire. Ooh, it's creepy. There's like a horror movie. Wow. This is mad. Wow. Oh my god, I don't even know what to take from this. Kind of almost wants to go into like a club banger, but there's like a ghost or a monster holding the song back, you know? Visceral. Fuck. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, sonically, like, I know I've said this about 1,000 times across all my Hyperpop reactions, but I've never heard anything like that in my life. Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Not okay. Maybe there's another interpretation there. Were there any lyrics? So baby come and try, girls, baby come and try. Do you miss trickling on all of me? It feels like the song is haunted, because there are all these other sounds that start to come in and maybe start to suggest it's going to go into like more Immaterial style song, but then it's kind of like drags it back, and it's like ghosts like flying by. It's very all that incredible. Like incredible that you can use sound to that level to like instill like dread and fear. It's amazing. It's kind of like movie music in a way, but obviously doesn't really sound like it in terms of its production and its texture and its musicality, but like it's that feeling, you know, theatrical, cinematic, all of those words. Okay, let's go on to the next song. This is song number 7. This is Pretending. Talk about movies. Sounds like Dune or something. Oh God, it's just so inspiring. I can't. It's just, yeah. You just wait, like my next 8 songs are probably all going to be like bonkers. It does feel like I'm being like, yeah, like transported into a movie. Almost sounds like the kind of setup for a movie, you know? Like the kind of opening overture of like a sci-fi, like something with a bit of horror, with a bit of gore. Here we go, we're going somewhere. Can you imagine a movie scored by Sophie? It would be incredible. Someone needs to make that. So I just got lost imagining what a movie with this as the opening song would be. I wonder what emotion this is supposed to represent for her mid-album. Ooh. That sounds like a monster. A motorbike. Straight into Immaterial. Maybe it's meant to be like a prelude for Immaterial. Pretending. I wonder what that represents for Sophie. That 6-minute masterpiece of cinematic storytelling. What is it supposed to invoke? For me, it's like confusion, trepidation, darkness, but also there's an element of peace. Maybe it's like a transition for the album, because Immaterial coming afterwards, we know that's super uplifting, super celebratory, and to go from something like Not Okay, which is like a stress, a haunting, and Pretending, maybe it's like exalting the demons. Maybe it's meditation, getting yourself to a place where like emotionally you can go into something joyful and really appreciate it. It could represent Sophie's transition. It could represent just a general emotional movement transition. But either way, there's growth and there's an element of like exalting demons. It's fascinating, like absolutely phenomenal. Really, I just love something that really makes you think. I can't wait to hear what you guys all have to say about this album. Okay, let's get on to this. So, obviously I've heard Immaterial before. If you haven't witnessed me listening to Immaterial for the first time, it is really worth it. It was at the end of my first Hyperpop video. I'll leave a link in the corner for you. It was a real moment for me. I'm just excited to listen to it again, so let's just go. I just absolutely adore this song. It's just so jubilant and freeing and gorgeous and all those things. Oh, so beautiful. It just gives me shivers. I've listened to it so many times, but it's just so wonderful. Immaterial. It could be anything I want. I don't know, it's just I love it. It's just really emotive thing for me at the moment, you know. Material. It's just like, oh my god, I just think it's just wonderful. I was just a lonely girl in the eyes of a child. Oh, I love this song so much. Yeah. Material, immaterial. And maybe this bit at the end goes into the final song. It doesn't. Okay, so like I got quite emotional in that one. So when I first listened to it, a lot of you guys explained to me in the comments how this idea of immaterial girl, immaterial boy is this like the impermanence of gender, and how somebody like Sophie has just like, it's just a really hot issue for me right now, and it just gets me really upset because when it comes to trans issues, there's so much going on in the world right now that is really anti-trans. Like there's stuff going on in the government with like the conversion therapy stuff. You know, obviously we know about J.K. Rowling. Like I've got people who in my life who have kind of saying very turf-like things, and all the discussion around it just hurts my heart because like, you know, there are people out there who grew up feeling as if they weren't like, they didn't fit at home in their own bodies, that they didn't feel like they were born the right gender, that inside they're different to their outside. And I just can't imagine like how difficult that would be to come to terms with. And how then on top of that you have all these people discussing your relevancy, discussing whether you're a real thing, discussing whether you should have basic fucking human rights. And it just like upsets me to hear so much kind of like anti-trans stuff around. It's just an issue that's really like getting to me at the moment. It just really hurts my heart, you know. So to hear a song like this, which is like so jubilant and free, I think that's why like it just is just, I don't know, like a reminder, like people who are trans can find joy and happiness in their life, even when everyone around them is telling them that they don't exist. I think the reason I get so upset about it is because by the time I was like grown up, things were rapidly changing for gay people. You know, by 2015, we had same-sex marriage legal in the UK. You know, by 2004, we had all the education stuff, which still left its mark on my education. I was just going to secondary school. It was only just made legal for teachers to talk about, you know, LGBT issues or even mention LGBT things. This is like the same thing that's going backwards in Florida. We had in the UK until like a similar thing until the early 2000s. And it really did affect me growing up. And I think that like having this kind of like feeling that what you feel is totally natural and normal, and like I couldn't imagine feeling any other way, being told from the outside that there's something wrong with that over and over as a young person, either directly or subtly through media messaging, through the lack of representation, like is deeply scarring for people, and was for me. And I spent a long time moving past that, and to see that happening to another community now right before my eyes is like, I think that's why it gets to me, you know, it feels personal. It's people within my community. Yeah. Right, let's go on to the final song because it's a long one. And I've got a party to go to. I hope they play Immaterial tonight. Actually, before we go on to the final song, if you haven't already, then make sure to click the subscribe button, help me grow my channel. I absolutely love listening to and analysing and discovering music and letting it move me, obviously. And your support in a subscribe or a like or a comment is another brick in that wall of me being able to make this my career. And I'll be forever grateful for everything, all the kinds of support in which you can offer, whether it's Patreon, whether it's subscribe, whether it's like, whether it's anything, just watching it, you know. But if you haven't subscribed yet, then make sure, then this is the reminder. Let's go on to the final song. This is A Whole New World. A whole new world / pretend world.
Whole new world.
Not quite like Aladdin.
Whole new world. Whole new world.
This is like a really sharp U-turn for my emotions right now. My heart can't take this right now. Who's this monster voice? I feel like this monster voice must represent something, an inner demon or something. Maybe it's like a criticism that the world has apparently grown up and moved on and like, you know, developed, and yet like Sophie knows that there isn't equal rights for trans people. Oh god, that's so unsettling. Oh no, wow. This voice sounds like how Ganon might sound in like some of the early Zelda games. Deep reference, sorry if no one gets that.
Whole new world.
for you and me. Oh my god, we're not even halfway through. The hook in this song is almost like just the rhythm of it. Dun 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 dun, with loads of different instruments and sounds. I'm thinking maybe like the back half of this song is going to be a bit more relaxed. I hope so, because 9 minutes of this is a lot. I've kind of like drifted off. Anyone watching the uncut is going to be like, is he okay? Ooh, there's some beauty starting to come through here. It's starting to break through. I like that it's moved somewhere a bit smoother. It still doesn't feel very settled, does it? But there's definitely something trying to break free. Ooh. Oh, that sounds quite menacing. It sounds like a car from like Back to the Future or something. That's it. That was a lot. That was a real journey. Like, there was a lot to take in there. I think there's something in that transition though. Maybe it was from the whole new world to the pretend world. Maybe that was the transition. Maybe the whole new world was the real world at the end. I don't know. There was still, wasn't still resolved, was it? But it was far, far less aggressive. And so it kind of felt like to me like a beautiful kind of soul that was like trapped and trying to kind of fight its way out of this like oppressive soundscape. And at the end, that was kind of a representation of it kind of maybe making its way out. I'm not sure. Like, that's a very like that was my feeling. You know, there's a billion different ways in which it could be interpreted. For me, it was like the promise of a whole new world. You know, there's lyrics about love in there, or maybe it's like Sophie managing to find love in a world in which she thinks is broken and horrible. Really, it's so aggressive, it's so painful. Maybe it's like a whole new world. It's supposed to be this new world. We're supposed to be living in this world where, you know, things have developed, things have changed, and yet there are still people, governments and countries that are incredibly against certain people. And actually, like, you know, in particular, the trans community, which we've been talking about, are still oppressed across the world. And I think that it's kind of jaded. It's supposed to be this whole new world for you and me. It's supposed to be this beautiful romantic love story that I was fed to as a child watching Aladdin, but this whole new world isn't what it's cracked up to be. It's fucked, you know? That's definitely what I'm taking from this. But there's a bit of hope at the end because, like, it seems to be that this kind of innocent soul is breaking free at the end. And I hope that that represents kind of an optimistic uplift. And you know what's fucking sad? Is that Sophie died. And we can't ever hear what came next, unless there was any more music after this. It's fucking sad that we can't hear the next part of the story. You know? It's such a shame that somebody who is so genius and so unique and so brave and so inspiring can't make any music anymore. But the beautiful thing about music is that music is forever, and her mark on music history will be forever remembered for how it inspired so many other artists and for how it represented feelings in such a completely unique, completely engaging, completely deep, dark, sometimes beautiful, uplifting, sometimes haunted and creepy. But either way, the very inches of human emotion were represented within this music. And that music will be forever. And that is kind of one of the beautiful things about creating music, is that even if, you know, all the hard drives in the world that contain the music break down and are destroyed forever, the impact that that music had on people and their generations and the generations below them and individual people's hearts, but also like entire public's hearts and heads, will forever change the future. And that's the mark that Sophie's left, I think. And it's certainly left its mark on me. Just incredible and so inspiring, just to just to know that music can be taken to that nth degree. It just opens up the boundaries for everybody else, you know. It pushes the boundaries, it pushes the limits, you know, of what music can be. Just Amazing. Well, now I've got to do the end bit. God, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly was forever changed by listening to this album. Make sure to let me know what your thoughts on the album are. Yeah, feel free to really kick off in the discussion, because that's what I love about this channel. It's about hearing from people who have a different perspective from mine, you know? Yeah, so I look forward to hearing from you. Yeah, special thank you to my Weeping Wendy patrons. Their names are all coming up on the screen right now. They're the guys who have done an extra level of support for me in my Patreon and actually are helping me to live my life as a full-time creative. I mean, I'm not full-time yet, but that's the goal. It still blows my mind, to be honest, that people are willing to support me that much. It's wonderful. So if that's something that you are interested in, the link is on the screen. If not, don't worry. Just leave me a like instead. Yeah, I'll see you next week for another video. Cool. Bye.